I already know it. I know we about to shine, cause we already glowing. Look at all this.
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And
and we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid. We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
Don't get mad, I'm just really trying to get a kiss.
Are live, finally. You know, we'll figure it out eventually. We'll figure it out eventually, don't worry. But for now, this is your TNA Slammiversary 2016 review for the third time. This is the final time, don't it? This is the final time. If you can't hear me, darn it, we're just jumping into the show. We're just gonna jump into the show because I'm gonna miss Raw. I'm gonna miss Raw. I'm gonna miss Raw because of this. But it's okay. It's okay. You know, Justin is making fun of me right now, and that's okay. That's okay. No one will know as long as no one knows. But anyway, we started out with Eddie Edwards versus Trevor Lee versus DJZ versus Andrew Everett for the X Division Championship of the world. I'm gonna give you this match first since I didn't get a chance to. I got a chance to watch it, but not really. I from what I could see, it was a great match. You know, it was a lot of high flying and stuff. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Go ahead. You just go ahead and do your thing. You know, just go ahead. I'm gonna leave that there.
Yeah, I don't care. This is the third time. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I feel like I'm just going through the motions now. I've talked about this match 3 times. This is a good match, though.
Well, act like it's the first time. That's how that works.
I'm trying to act like it's the first time, but you admitted that this is the third time, so they already know that this is the third time. So
they know it's the third take, but perfection doesn't come in the first take, Casey.
I mean, when you're that good, it does. When you're that good, it does. I mean, but anyway, definitely a good match. You know, even without it being an Ultimate X match, which I kind of wanted. We still got a lot of, high flying spots, a lot of, really cool dives. Andrew Everett did the craziest flippy, twisty thing. I don't even know what that was, but the man should have just been handed the title right there. I'm just saying. I was surprised that they didn't keep the title in the Helms Dynasty because it felt like they were really building that kind of faction around the X Division title. Maybe they're still going to keep them in the X Division picture or put them in the tag team title picture. Either way, it would be really cool. I feel like they would be better off in the tag team division because the tag team division right now is kind of struggling a little bit, it feels like. But it's definitely a good match, and we got a new X Division champion, not somebody who's had the title before. So that's always a good thing to have a new champion. Keeps it fresh a little bit.
Justin's cracking me up because he always he's saying all these things. He told you to shut up. He told you to shut your mouth is what he told you anyway. Anyway.
Justin, you shut your mouth when you talk to me.
You shut your mouth. He said, "Girl, bye." He gave you that Cameron treatment. He said, "Girl, bye." Anyway, I thought this match was good. I thought this match was a pretty good match. I did feel like it turned into a tag team match. I really did. It felt like it was kind of a tag team match just because of the people who were in it, and the way the match was kind of booked, which you kind of understand. You kind of get it. You kind of wouldn't be really a surprising thing, but I definitely, I enjoyed the match. I thought some of the cool spots in it were really cool. Obviously, you're going to get your dives, and Andrew Everett did that weird freaking springboard flippy thing. I almost said flippy dippy thing, and I don't want to say that's too close to whatever Casey says.
Dippity. That's what he's calling it. It's the flippity dippity.
No, the weird flippy thingy do it. He did that thing. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel about this match. I definitely thought it was good. But I was like, it felt really tag team-esque to me. But I mean, I liked it. I did. I was surprised that Eddie Edwards ended up being the new X Division champion. That surprised me a little bit, but it happens. It happens. The next match we had was the Tribunal. Versus Grado and Mahabali Shera. I'm calling them that. It's official. I trademarked it and everything. I did. I trademarked it. I did think it was weird that Mahabali Shera got dominated in this match. I did. I thought it was kind of a weird way to go about it. I just wasn't expecting him to get dominated in this match. But I definitely felt like it was a good debut for the Tribunal. It was kind of a slower match. Tribunal was doing very good at the more traditional tag team moves. I would like to see more of the Tribunal though, because I think the more we can see, the better they're gonna get. I don't really like their finisher, the whole backbreaker elbow drop that they won with tonight. I think they need something that's just more devastating. I didn't feel like it was devastating enough for a team, especially built the way they are. Al Snow with that freaking whistle. Grado ended up getting it, grabbing the whistle. I thought the double chokeslam was going to be the end of this match by the Tribunal, but it wasn't. Shearer did hit a nice springboard. We got a wee boot from Grado. We got it all. We got it all in this match. But I definitely thought it was a good match. But Casey, any thoughts on the Tribunal versus Grado?
First of all, I can see the little muty thing right there, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me. Can't get it. But anyway, I feel like you ever get that sense of deja vu, like you've been talking about something before, or you've been over a match before. I'm getting that feeling. I feel like we've talked about this match a couple times, but again, this was a good match. We got to see more of the Tribunal. We kind of got to get more of an idea of what they're all about, even though we still don't really know why Al Snow is aligned with them and why that man is so bad with French, trying to say merci and it's coming out mercy, and I don't even know what else he tried to say. But yeah, I like that, they are aligned at least with somebody who can kind of help build them up. And we get to actually see them wrestle more than we did in NXT, which we don't really say much that we don't get to see guys wrestle much in NXT because we get to see them wrestle a lot in NXT. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what they do with them. If they keep them in a feud with Grado, or if they kind of move them on, if this is the end of that feud and they're moving on to something else. I'm just excited for it.
All right, we're going to go ahead and introduce you to our main event table. Hopefully we can. I don't know yet. Hopefully. Okay, we're here and we're live again. But we're going to the main event table. This is our wrestling main event table. All the different logos and stuff is all around it. I just kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of a cool idea. That's just me, but we're going to jump into the Gail Kim versus Jade versus Sienna match. This match came about because Maria ended up getting actually injured. She's had a broken hand for a while. That's why she hasn't been actually wrestling. She's had a broken hand for a little bit, and they were hoping it was going to be healed by the time, but actually it just didn't have time to heal. But I definitely thought that I thought the match was it just felt like it was in slow motion a little bit to me. I think that was the only issue for me is that it kind of felt like it was in slow motion. But I did think that the match, I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was I feel like a lot of women's matches, I guess, are can be bad because they're girly. That's what I'm trying to say. But like this wasn't necessarily a girly match. It was just slow for some reason. But Casey, any thoughts on your Knockouts Championship match where Marty Bell returned and we have a new Knockouts champion, and not Marty Bell, but Sienna?
Yeah. This is a good match, and Jade's pants are I approve. Again, I approve of the pants. Don't tell my wife, but I approve of the pants. It definitely did feel like it was in sort of slow motion. And for some reason TNA knockout matches feel stiff in a bad way. Like they're not fluid. They're not something about it. And you could say it's just the company, because every company kind of, they wrestle differently. I feel like, even, you know, with this, if it's the same division, like heavyweight divisions in TNA wrestle different than heavyweight divisions in WWE, where, you know, TNA's heavyweight division wrestles different than like PWG or Ring of Honor. So you could kind of go with that, but they're still just stiff and not something about it. I personally can't really get into them as much as I would like to. But the pants, we need to focus on the blue pants. Blue pants.
It's a sign. It's a sign. The new debut. But yeah, I definitely you know, I'm glad that Jade, you know, changed up her attire. I don't know. I like her better in the pants, not just because they look good, halfway, but you know, like I do feel like still, you know, it's just a better look for her. But it's because they be looking good. But a little bit before that, we got Braxton Sutter, Pepper Potts, man, Pepper Potts. We got Braxton Sutter. You know, he was trying to find the stage for some reason. He just couldn't find the stage. And I'm like, if you employed by a wrestling company and you supposed to, well, he didn't know he's making his pay-per-view debut, hypothetically, but you're supposed to be making a pay-per-view debut at some point. You trying to tell me you can't find the stage, bruh? He ran up on James Storm. And then James Storm was cutting this random promo, and then he was like, you know, let me talk, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you for a little bit. And then he talked to him, and then we'd end up getting a match between Braxton Sutter and James Storm. I guess we can just talk about that real quick right now since we're kind of on it. That was one we skipped during the first take. I thought about afterwards though. I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a pretty good match. I was just surprised that James Storm got the win. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing, because it's not like James Storm wins everything he ever, you know, every match he's ever in. He can put talent over and whatnot. You know, I think he did a pretty good job with the Revolution there at the end, building up Mahabali Shera a little bit. But you know, I think, you know, I thought the match was actually pretty good. I love the stiffness of Braxton Sutter, but I think this match was kind of weird because it wasn't like one of those matches where Braxton Sutter's gonna come in and get all his stuff in. James Storm was like, "No, you ain't getting nothing in. I've been here 14 years. You ain't getting nothing in on me, nothing." And I think he ended up winning with the was the last call super kick, either that or the lung blower. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was, but he ended up winning with that. Any thoughts on the Braxton Sutter versus or the Pepper Potts versus James Storm? I was surprised that Pepper Potts did lose.
He lost because he wanted $5 for a picture. First of all, I'm wondering, you know, how James Storm and Mahabali Shera are right now. You know, did they get past all that? Are they cool now? You know, because James Storm, he turned over a new leaf. You know, he realized the error of his ways. I'm wondering. It's definitely a good match. I kind of like that they put Braxton Sutter in a match with James Storm. I feel like James Storm is one of those guys. I don't want to say like Chris Jericho or Dolph Ziggler, but sort of, because he's good with kind of putting over new talent, it feels like. And he's been there long enough that he's pretty much done everything, so he can kind of, you know, take that role of kind of helping younger talent kind of get over now. I was surprised that he did get the win, and I was also surprised because I don't know, I felt like there was gonna, like, Braxton Sutter was gonna do a heel turn. I just felt like he was gonna, you know, do a heel turn and attack James Storm or something. It just felt like they were gonna do that, especially when James Storm, you know, offered him the beer and everything. I was like, oh, he's gonna break it over his head.
I thought one of them was going to do one. I didn't know which one it was going to be, but I was like, one of these guys is going to turn, right? Like, this is that whole beer thing where James Storm's like, just break this bottle over my head. You know, I thought someone was going to turn. I didn't know who it was going to be.
Yeah. And then they cut the camera off quick, and I was like, oh, wait, was he supposed to? Because it just felt like something was going to happen. And then they went to backstage, and I was like, oh, I guess not.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree though. I thought that, you know, I thought it was crazy that you know, Storm didn't even let him get his stuff in or anything. You know, he was just like, nope, none of that. But next we got Bram versus Eli Drake, and I'm sorry, Casey, it was not on top of the mountain. You know, they took it into consideration, I think, but they was just like, you know, this ain't the way we do things around here, you know. But it happens, you know, it happens. Any thoughts on the match before I give my thoughts?
I mean, you would have had so many more pay-per-view buys if you had this on a mountain. I'm just saying. And it's not like, you know, WWE is going to outbid you for a mountain. I mean, they probably would. But
that is true. They can't, you know, it's a mountain.
I mean, yeah, you know, if you just put it up on that mountain, I'm just saying it should be on a mountain. It's the King of the Mountain title. I mean, it should be at least, you know, on a mountain or in a King of the Mountain match. I'm just saying, it's the title. Why ain't it defended in a King of the Mountain match? I'm just saying. But definitely a good match. We got to see more of Eli Drake in the ring, not just on the mic, which, I mean, we love him on the mic, but it was kind of good to see him in the ring. I still felt like, for some reason, Bram just looked out of shape in this match to me for some reason. I don't know what it was, but they definitely put on a good match. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Bram now, and also what are they going to do with Eli Drake, who's next in line, you know, for the title. But definitely was a good match.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I thought the match, you know, it went well. I think it, you know, it was definitely a good, you know, it was a good one-on-one match. It got a chance to really see what these guys could really do in a really aggressive match. I like the you know, the pop-up powerbomb by Bram. I was like, oh my god! I don't know. I just really liked it. You know, Kevin Owens does it all the time, and I love it every time. But you know, you're just not used to seeing it. Sometimes you see someone else do something, and you're like, what? But I definitely, you know, I liked it. The neck breaker out of the corner by Eli Drake, and then he hits him with what is it? Blood Force Trauma is the name of his finisher now. So I think it's a cool little name for a finisher, and I definitely I enjoyed the match. We were talking about it last night when we tried to do this. The title, I was thinking, you know, they should have a hardcore title. We would kind of learn that through the Full Metal Mayhem match, because Casey and I talked about it, where like we were hoping that they would come up with like a hardcore title, since WWE doesn't do the bloody type of spots and stuff like that. And I was thinking maybe, and it sounds like a really gimmicky idea, but I was thinking maybe they could have a title that the title holder changes like the stipulation or the rule of the title or the name of the title. So like they could be like, I call this the hard, like Bram wins it, he's like, this is my hardcore title, and then like the next person wins it and he wants it to be I don't know, an intercontinental title, and he takes it to China and it's like, you know, I'm defending my title across the you know, whatever. I mean, I think they could do that. You know, I think it'd be, because it would be a unique idea. I don't know how they would run with it. I just kind of thought of it last night and just threw it out a little bit, but Any thoughts on title changes and whatnot? There is a report that TNA is planning on bringing in a hardcore title, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Just a rumor, just a report.
You know what? I think they should. You know, I think that the title holder should be able to make up their own rules. You know, like I was saying last night in our original recording, and you know, DJ shot this idea down, but I think it's brilliant. You know, if I wanted to like have like a match with where you have to pin me for like 47, 48 seconds, maybe 50. Let's make it. Let's go to 50. You know, you have to pin me for 50 seconds, and you know, I'm never gonna lose that title, never, because you can't hold me down for 50 seconds. You can't do it. So it's genius. It is a genius idea. I'm just saying.
You know, I don't. You know, I'm not sure. Anyway, we just gonna go ahead to the redemption.
38 seconds. There we go.
37 and a half seconds. But we just gonna go to Mike Bennett versus EC3. I really feel like this was a fun match to watch. I like the no selling at certain points. You know, because I think no selling in matches gives it kind of an indie feel. It's not like WWE where they just no sell everything, like where Apollo Crews gets beat up and he's like, you know, I'm still happy though. You know, it's not like that, but I definitely like the no selling at points. You know, just kind of, you know, it happened during a couple matches tonight and or last night. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought it, you know, it kind of gave the match a different feel. You could really tell that EC3 and Mike Bennett were going all out, trading finishers and kicking out of everything. You know, basically doing whatever they can to win. Mike Bennett ends up hitting the Miracle in Progress for a near fall on the chair. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the TKO followed by a 1%er by EC3 to get the win. EC3 also did a TKO on the apron, which was kind of cool. I just thought these guys just really went all out. I think, you know, they built such a chemistry with each other. I think that's one of the good things about building a feud for a long stretch of time instead of throwing the matches together at the last minute. Is that shut up. Throwing the matches together at the last minute is that, you know, you do have that time to build that chemistry with that person, whether it's on the mic or in the ring. But I definitely thought this match was a really good match. EC3 ends up getting his redemption per se. Any thoughts on EC3 versus Mike Bennett?
Mike Bennett versus EC3. I mean, it kind of works a little bit, maybe, you know. Put him in a tag team. Eli Drake and EC3. Yeah. EC Drake. Yeah. There we go.
Eli 3? I try to do it. I put it out there, you know, and won't nobody biting.
Maybe. TNA listens to us sometimes, you know. It might happen.
LB clash of one of a kind, man. I'm telling you, you got to help us out.
Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get that team together, you know, because it would work. They would be amazing on the mic, amazing in the ring. I'm just saying. This was a fun match to watch, though. You know, it felt intense. It felt like a big built-up feud. It felt like, you know, it had been building up to this. It didn't feel like you said, they just kind of threw as something together. It felt like, you know, this was kind of the breaking point to, you know, finally, you know, EC3 gets to his redemption. Again, I'm just wondering what they're going to do from here. You know, what Mike Bennett's going to do, what EC3 is going to do. Like I was saying in our second recording of this, where you couldn't hear us, I could see both of them being thrown into the title picture. Both of them could definitely, you know, do good things in the main event picture. But I just thought this was a really good, you know, kind of hopefully final match, because I don't know what much more they could do with this feud. It feels like it's run its course, and we know with TNA in the past, sometimes they don't know when to end a feud or a storyline. with a certain faction with Bully Ray that kept going and going.
Let's not act like WCW didn't do that with the NWO. I'm just saying. I mean, but they couldn't learn. You know, they could have learned from that, but they didn't want to. They said we're gonna try it anyway. We gonna try. Y'all ain't had to try it anyway. Y'all didn't. Anyway, we got Full Metal Mayhem, Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy, and let me tell you something here. Matt Hardy is the truth, man. I'm telling you. I have really loved these last couple of heel runs for Matt Hardy. I I don't know what it is about this broken Matt Hardy, but they added the piano into everything tonight, but into the entrance, and I was like, oh, I'm so in love with this man. And I hated Matt Hardy for a long time. For a long time, I didn't like Matt Hardy at all. I kind of like his version 1 persona, but I just didn't feel like Matt Hardy was like as exciting as Jeff for some reason. And I think that's just kind of like how the wrestling companies have kind of put him in your mind. Like they're like, you know, Jeff's better, Jeff's better. But, you know, I definitely did enjoy this Full Metal Mayhem match, and I enjoyed Matt Hardy's persona. Jeff Hardy was freaking laying in with those freaking trash can shots. And then that freaking ladder that Jeff Hardy grabbed, he grabbed one of those like the ladders you like work on a roof with, like not one of those normal like wrestling like ladders, but like the ladders you like work on your roof, like if you're gonna clean out your gutters or something. Like he grabbed one of those ladders, extended it as far as he could, and then freaking stretched it all the way across the ring. I just thought that was really cool because you know, it was kind of a unique thing. I know a lot of people would probably be like, oh, TNA didn't have the money to use a regular ladder, even though they pulled out a regular ladder anyway in this match. But, you know, people would say that just to say that. And I just actually thought it was kind of a cool thing. The power bomb through the keyboard, man, through the keyboard. I think the fans went home with a bunch of keyboard keys, you know. So shout out to them. They got the souvenirs, you know. I would have got Matt Hardy to sign one. You know, hung it up on the wall. You know, I think it would have worked out pretty well, if in my personal opinion. But Jeff Hardy ended up doing a swanton bomb for the win. I think it was through a table on the outside. I definitely thought that was cool. They set up those 2 tables on the outside, kind of triple threat TLC style at one point, and they got on top of a ladder, and I was like, what is gonna happen here? But any thoughts on the Full Metal Mayhem match?
They definitely made it a fun match to watch. I know before the match I was kind of I didn't see the point of the outcome of this match because, you know, Jeff really feels like he didn't have anything to lose or gain, and Matt Hardy kind of had everything to lose. Like I was wondering, like, what are they going to do with Matt now? Because he lost to Jeff again, so it's like, okay, is he going to go more crazy? Is he like, what's going on here? But definitely a good match. A lot of really cool spots with the huge ladder. That was cool. Although I was kind of confused because Jeff put Matt on the ladder after it was stretchered out like over the ropes. And I was expecting him to do the swanton, and he just does like a regular like just dive, and I'm like, what? Come on now. I don't know why he did that. It felt weird, but the trash can shots were definitely hard. He was like throwing them at Matt. I was like, dude, chill. This is your brother. You need to calm down. Just chill. I get it. He's older than you. He beat you up when he was a kid. I get it. You need to calm down though. And then the keyboard power bomb where Matt or Jeff hit more of the guardrail than the actual keyboard. I was like, oh, that. Ugh. But it was definitely a good match. I like how Matt just kind of, you know, in shame went to the back after the match, and then Jeff kind of, you know, went around, you know, seeing all the fans and giving everyone a high five and everything like that. That was kind of cool. And I know we were talking about after this about how they should bring back a hardcore title, which I think would be cool. But I mean, this is one of those matches where, you know, it shows that we can have these hardcore matches and we don't necessarily need all the blood, because there really wasn't, like, this wasn't like a bloodbath. I mean, yeah, you know, Matt had like scrapes and scratches and was bleeding from the back a little bit, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like the Attitude Era or, you know, ECW or CZW where like they were covered in blood. It was just enough to kind of, you know, feel like the match was intense, even though the crowd was dead and no one cared.
Yeah, all right. I think next we have our tag team title match. I'm gonna give you this match first. We got the Decay versus the BroMans for the TNA tag team titles.
I mean, well, first off, you know, we had the Decay with my wife, Rosemary. Don't tell her what I said about Jade earlier. She gets upset. You know, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that later. Don't tell her. But Justin's probably going to tell her. Anyway, versus the BroMans and freaking Raquel. Why she got it?
But you can't lie like she ain't cute though. Like, she is cute. Come on, like, you can't tell me she ain't fine. He won't admit it, but you can tell. You can look in his face, and he knows it. He knows it. Also, I don't know if you heard. I think Chelsea from Tough Enough signed with TNA. From what I heard,
everybody from Tough Enough is signing with TNA.
I'm gonna apply for Tough Enough, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, TNA, I want to be like manager. You know, I got you.
You're gonna see ZZ next week on TNA. He's coming. But
TNA Breaking Ground.
I like this. I like this match. There was a lot of cool spots. The missed spots I felt like were the best ones. You know, we get Abyss gets misted in the face and accidentally choke slams Crazy Steve, and then Stifler with the best spot ever. He gets misted in the face and just dies. That was the best sell I've seen in a long time. But definitely a good match. I'm glad that they kept the titles on the Decay. I feel like they could do a lot with them. Still, you gotta get rid of Raquel. You gotta do it. I mean, I get it. She's attractive. I get it. But is she really good for you? Is she really good for the BroMans? I don't think so. I don't think that she's good for you.
All right then.
Just saying. BroMan to BroMan. I'm just saying.
I enjoyed this match. I really love the aggressive style of the Decay. I think that's what kind of lets me, like, it's aggressive, but it's unique. It's not like that aggressive, like, I'm gonna punch you in the face 8 times. You know, it's not like that aggressive, but it's like aggressive with the biting and the ear biting and the misting and all that. When Rosemary got gorilla pressed, I was like, oh my god! Just because you're not used to, you know, seeing a woman get like thrown around like that, I thought that was kind of cool.
That's my wife. You did that to.
And then when Rosemary hit Abyss with the mist, I don't know, for some reason I really thought the BroMans was gonna win this match. I don't know what it was, but I was like really into this match, thinking that the BroMans were gonna win. And I was hoping they wouldn't. Like, Rosemary hit Abyss with the mist, and I was like, oh god, the Decay is gonna break up now. Then Abyss hits Crazy Steve with the choke slam, like a blind choke slam. And then, you know, I think she like spit in his mouth a little bit. You know, that's what Rosemary do to like heal you and whatnot. She spit in his mouth, and he was able to pull the ref out miraculously. And then Stifler got hit with the mist. Oh man, that sell was almost as great as JB's dive off the top turnbuckle. You know, I mean, I can't even lie. I thought it was great. Raquel ended up taking out Rosemary. I did think it was cool that Raquel had wrestling tights on, so I think maybe we're gonna actually get to see her wrestle, which will be good, just to kind of add to the knockouts division, because there's not a lot there right now. The shot with the title by Crazy Steve for 2, I thought that was going to be it. Goddard's locks in the Adonis Crab on Crazy Steve. Darn it, can't remember his name. Goddard's locks in the Adonis Crab on Crazy Steve after the bro down. And then that almost gets Crazy Steve to tap out. The false finishes in this match were really good. Galloway gets met with a black hole slam, and then the Decay end up winning with a power bomb of Crazy Steve onto Jesse Goddard for the win. So I love the way they finish their matches. I think it's just a really unique way to just add to that character even more. And the Decay had to win because Abyss is beautiful. Like, I mean, if you look at him, if you just look at him, he is, he's beautiful. He's just beautiful. He has come to a new light. But I definitely enjoyed this match. Hoping they create some more tag teams. I'm hoping, even with these the indie talents, I hope they can make these guys into some tag teams or something, just to kind of build on that division. Because I really want to see some more tag teams go at it. Because I really think they could really have some strong points in the tag team division if they create some tag teams. But we've been saying this for years. But next we have the main event of the evening. You must win by knockout or tap out, which I actually kind of like that stipulation for this feud in particular. But we got the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. How'd that pop up perfectly right there? That was actually pretty cool. We got the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. We have Lashley versus Drew Galloway. And I really felt like this match could have went either way. It felt like it was one of those matches where both Lashley and Galloway had been built up really well. Galloway is just a tank. That man, it just feels like he can do anything in the ring, and I love it. I really enjoy Galloway in the ring. He hit the Celtic Cross on the steel stairs. I thought that was freaking amazing. When Lashley no-sold the belly-to-belly and hit a spear, I thought that was nice. Kind of I guess it's kind of a adrenaline type thing. Like, oh God, I just got hit with a move, but I can hit you with my move and then I'm going to die. So I actually kind of like those spots a little bit, at the right times. Galloway with that freaking dive over the top rope through the table. Oh my goodness. And then it was so freaking cool because Galloway gets up like a monster and freaking got blood like dripping down his head and just gets up and challenges Lashley even more. Gets back in the ring. I definitely like that. Lashley caught Galloway off the top into a crossface. That was a really cool spot there. And then Galloway reverses that into a tombstone, which I just wasn't expecting. I don't know if anyone was expecting Drew Galloway to hit a tombstone, but I thought that was freaking amazing. And then Galloway was going for the Claymore kick, and he gets caught in the kind of an Anaconda Vice style submission hold for the win, and Lashley is your new world champion. And I didn't think about this when we were talking about this before, but I'm wondering, is Lashley really close to the Bellator title? And maybe they're trying to do something where they're trying to draw some eyes into TNA through Lashley a little bit, like having him hold the TNA title, and that'll kind of trickle in from Bellator a little bit. I'm not sure if that's what they're trying to do. But I definitely I enjoyed this match. I thought it was as physical as it needed to be, but it did have those kind of high flying spots too, which was really cool. I just really enjoyed this match. I thought it was a really good match. I'm kind of wondering, I expected something after this match to kind of start something new in the world title picture. But I'm kind of wondering what's going to go down in the world title picture, because I think it's the world title picture to me, in my personal opinion, for TNA has been really consistent. Ever since around about the Magnus realm, even before that, like I didn't think Magnus was bad at the start. I thought Magnus was good at the start. I think it just got old. But I think TNA just overall, since the TNA World Championship has been the TNA World Championship, even when it was the NWA Championship, it was still it's always been really consistent at the world title picture. And I hope they can like draw that consistency out throughout the rest of the divisions. I really want to see that. But I really enjoyed this match. Any thoughts on Casey, your favorite new world champion?
I mean, it has been consistent. You you got a good exciting run, you got a good exciting run, and then you have a boring run. That's just how it goes. You have to have that boring run, you know, eventually, and this is that boring run. Because friggin' Lashley bores the shit out of me. He just does.
But you can't tell me. But you can't tell me that Lashley isn't impressive in the ring. You can't like Lashley is the exact opposite of what you expect a guy that looks like Lashley to be. To me, in my opinion, because I'm not expecting Lashley to be like a big freaking. I'm not expecting Ryback to be doing leapfrogs over people's backs. That's just me though.
I mean, but he's boring. But anyway, that opening Claymore kick, I was like, it's done. He's out. It's done. He retained the title. That's it. He's done. And then he got up, and I was like, come on now. But it was definitely a good match. I felt like there were some weird parts because just with the stipulation, you had to either knock out or tap out. And I don't know. I know that Lashley is in, the MMA stuff. Like, I get it. I haven't really seen any of his, MMA stuff. But he just doesn't seem like a submission guy to me. He seems like a, brawler, ground and pound type of guy. So kind of seeing him do submissions was kind of weird to me. Like, it didn't seem right. And then, he only checked the arm once. I didn't think that, that match wasn't over. He was just resting.
What was interesting about that though? And the fans reacted to it. For one. They did the whole thing. He was like knocked out in the ref conference. And Galloway's leg moved. Like as soon as he did it, like Galloway had moved his leg back up, and the crowd was like, "No." And I think that even helped more with the heat a little bit more.
Yeah. I don't know. I hate when they don't check it. Like, I get it. With MMA, they only check it once. I get it, but this isn't MMA. This is professional wrestling. And for the longest time, you check the arm 3 times. Even at the GFW show I went to, there was a submission, and the ref checked the arm 3 times. Like, I don't know. It just bothers me that they don't do that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I really enjoyed Slammiversary. I thought it, went out pretty well. And finally, we have a Slammiversary review. Catching a lot of echo for some reason now, but that's okay. But if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And we did this 3 times for you guys. We did this 3 times, and it was difficult. But definitely, we're going to keep playing around with this and hoping that it actually works out as well as we want it to. But, I hope you would at least like seeing something new, because that was kind of what we wanted to bring, was just something fresh, something you really don't see as much. But this was Slammiversary 2016, and this was your review, brought to you by the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. Booty-o sometimes, brought to you by the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. You'll see it on our outro page. It's not a outro page like permanently, but for now, it is an outro page. But we'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed.